During the summer, Chelsea manager Ian Porterfield made several attempts at signing big-name players, but all efforts failed. Don Howe was brought in, though, to lead the coaching staff. His wise old head and vast experience certainly welcomed by the players. On their way out of Stamford Bridge during the summer were Jason Cundy to Spurs for £800,000, Kerry Dixon to Southampton for £575,000, and also to the Dell Ken Monkhouse, the fee £850,000. In a hectic few days before the season's kick-off, Mick Harford joined Chelsea for £300,000 from Luton Town. For half that sum, Mal Donaghy left Manchester United. The undersized and underrated striker John Spencer left Rangers for £450,000, and fellow Scot Robert Fleck was sold by Norwich for £2.1 million.
I think Chelsea, they were good. They always seemed to be interested in me. There were other clubs that were mucking me about, and I kept on and told Chelsea this, Chelsea that, so obviously I had to come here.
The arrival of 4 new players brought a special air of excitement to the first match of the season. Matchday programmes sold out before the visitors, Oldham Athletic, had even arrived. An expectant crowd awaited sight of 3 of the 4 new signings as club captain Andy Townsend led out Chelsea for the big kick-off. Jones trying the longer approach this time, though Marshall should have this one under control all right. Oh, it's just nicked away from him. Might just give a chance to Mick Harford. Glorious strike, and the former England man has opened his account for Chelsea. 6 minutes to go, and it's Chelsea 1, Oldham 0, and the first goal of his Chelsea career for the new boy Mick Harford. marvellous moment for him, and I wonder if that's going to be enough for Chelsea to win the 3 points. Oldham have so little time left in which to save something now from their trip to London. Paul Elliott there rather crashing into the back of the opponent, and that must be a free kick. 5 minutes left. Andy Barlow popping up into that penalty area. That's Elliott's clearing header, only as far as Steve Redmond, a new signing from Manchester City. Elliott should be there again for Chelsea. Still, it's not quite away. Then pumped forward once more. Dave Beasant coming outside of his area. Oh, and he makes something of a hash of that, and it might give Nick Henry a chance. It's going to be an equaliser, and calamity for Dave Beasant. 4 minutes left, and it's 1-1. And there is the final whistle, and it's disappointment really for Chelsea, because having gone ahead with that goal just 5 minutes from time from Mick Harford, they look good value for the 3 points. But it wasn't to be in the end, because that mistake by goalkeeper Dave Beasant means that Oldham will go away with a point here, and Beasant has to reflect on his mistake. Chelsea's free kick will be planted in here by Hall, looking for the head of Paul Elliott there, and a good stop from Brian Gunn. Pushing out Townsend this time. It's laid back by Harford for Stewart. And Andy Townsend, an intelligent position by him. He needs a good ball in, and a good ball it is as well. And Graham Stewart gives Chelsea the lead. Norwich 0, Chelsea 1. He's picked out David Phillips this time, and the Welsh international looking to find a way through here. Gets it onto the right foot. Oh, what a blast from David Phillips, and Norwich a level. Hall this time trying to clear for Chelsea. And it's going to come straight back at them as well. Here's Gary Megson now, and that's a useful ball over the top, and Robbins is onside, and a delightful touch, and that's 2 in 2 minutes. For Wednesday taken by Worthington, and it's found Hurst at the back post, and David Hurst, it's gone through. I think the final touch was probably from Paul Williams, but Hurst takes the congratulations of the Sheffield Wednesday players, and Wednesday in front on 26 minutes. We'll see it again now as Worthington's cross is flicked on, and Hurst in plenty of space at the back post with time to check and rifle the ball back in there, and it crossed the line off Williams. Wednesday's throw, and Hurst inside the Chelsea penalty area. Oh, he's brought clattering down by Steve Clarke, and the penalty is given by Mr. Dilks. He has no hesitation, and it's a penalty for Wednesday. So it's David Hurst against Dave Beasant. Hurst on the left foot, trusty as always, and Wednesday lead 2-0. So the free kick here. They'll be looking for Paul Elliott, and Elliott's in there, and Jones is in there too, and Vinnie Jones has poached a goal for Chelsea. They've got one back. It's 2-1 now. Paul Elliott certainly played his part, but Vinnie Jones claims the goal, and 3 minutes into the second half, Chelsea have reduced the arrears. A well-placed free kick, this one. Paul Elliott getting in there, and Jones from no more than 2 yards out makes it 2-1. Lobbed back in by Warhurst. It's away as far as Graham Stewart. And he's got plenty of room here and sets off on a counter over the halfway line, and the Wednesday defender sort of melting away from him, and Stewart has gone a long way here. Oh, a brilliant run by Stewart, and that's a fabulous goal. And Graham Stewart has a right to celebrate. That's one of the best goals you'll see all season. A really fabulous effort from Stewart. It must be the best of his career. He's gone all of 60 yards here, carrying the ball on. The Wednesday defenders just didn't seem to know how to stop him. On and on he went, past Warhurst, and slides it beautifully past Chris Woods. 2-2. Chelsea come right back into this game, and they might get even further back into it now. Eddie Newton, Chelsea in front, and what a remarkable comeback this one is. That's 3 goals in 60 minutes, and from being 2 down, Chelsea now have their noses in front at 3-2. Eddie Newton. Trevor Francis looking to be the saviour of Wednesday yet again, and he's got into a good position here, and the cross is deep, and Hurst is in there, and Danny Wilson has scored. The ball came back off Mal Donaghy, and Danny Wilson has now made it Sheffield Wednesday 3, Chelsea 3. What a game. High-spending Blackburn Rovers, whose season got off to a roaring start, were the next visitors to the Bridge in what proved to be a match of missed opportunities. Mike Newell, and the long ball finds Alan Shearer here, edge of the Chelsea penalty area, shadowed by Donaghy. He's turned it back for Ripley, and a flashing shot from Stuart Ripley. Just wide of the right-hand upright, but a good effort from the former Middlesbrough man. Donaghy looking for the searching ball this time, and it's one in the air, and it's coming down here for Robert Fleck, and he swivels and shoots, but still can't get his first goal in a Chelsea shirt. Well, that's a neat little flick inside, Newell to Shearer, and that's opened things up, and here comes Mark Atkins, and Mark Atkins is denied by the fingertips of Dave Besant. Good opportunity, Atkins couldn't take it. So Ripley will take the corner kick for Blackburn Rovers. Still the deadlock hasn't been broken in the game. It could be here now, but I think the whistle has already gone as Shearer puts the ball into the net. Chelsea's free kick, and Wise and Jones are there, and here's Andy Townsend, and it takes a deflection, and Harford, oh, what a miss by Mick Harford. No wonder he looks crestfallen. Still 0-0. The next visitors to the Bridge were QPR, top of the table, led out by skipper Ray Wilkins, who received a warm reception from the Chelsea faithful. Chelsea continuing to apply the pressure here. Vinnie Jones on the ball, and they're looking for Harford. The corner of the penalty box. This is Darren Peacock pursuing Harford all the way. Might get support from Andy Townsend, who's got past Peacock and whips the ball across here. He's going to come back for Harford, and a mistake from Stejskal. Chelsea have the lead, and it's that man Harford again. So Harford's long ball upfield, and it's going to be Peacock again harried by Wise, and Stejskal taking something of a risk here and having to show his footballing prowess, but the Queen's Park Rangers' hearts will have been fluttering a little quicker there. And it's going to come down for Townsend once more. Can't find a way through, Stuart might, and here's another chance for Chelsea just to turn the screw a little further. Played out wide right, and it's across the face of goal. Another chance gone, Harford just couldn't get on the end of it. Stejskal, wasn't a good clearance, but it met the head of David Bardsley, and it might still provide something for Rangers here, and there's going to be an opportunity for Les Ferdinand, who gets past the first defender, shoots wide, and agony in the Rangers ranks. With the season barely a month old, Chelsea fans had to say goodbye to Vinnie Jones. He returned to his spiritual home of Wimbledon for £700,000. Nigel Spackman found the welcoming mat awaiting him on his return to Chelsea from north of the border. The fee for him, £485,000. Defender Anthony Barnes signed from Charlton for £350,000. And another Scot from Morton, David Hopkin, for £300,000. Aston Villa have started promisingly in this match, and Earl Barrett has the chance to play this ball up there into the heart of the Chelsea penalty area. Elliott getting underneath it just a little bit. It might fall here for Kevin Richardson. Superb strike by Kevin Richardson, and Villa have the lead. Besant taking the free kick, and he hammers it a long way up there towards the edge of the Aston Villa penalty area. That's Newton's little nudge through. Couldn't find Harford. Wise challenging for it. Back in there by Hall. There might be still a chance here now, and it is. It's a first goal for Robert Fleck for Chelsea, and isn't he pleased? Besant up there looking for Harford, as he always does. It's taken on by Newton, who might just get in here. That's beautifully done by Eddie Newton, and Chelsea now have the lead. Newton really has established himself in the Chelsea side so far this season, and he's laid a good ball forward here for Fleck as well, and tries to get back in there. It doesn't come to him. It might come to Wise. It does. 3-1, and Dennis Wise surely has confirmed a victory now for Chelsea here. A goal behind. They now lead Aston Villa by 3 goals to 1. Chelsea really broke their hoodoo on this ground last season with that 2-1 victory. Well, they're having to defend again now. Paul Elliott sweeping the ball forward. David Burrows here, being pursued, but manages to do enough to get the ball away. It comes only as far as Newton. And now the Liverpool break. Could be, oh, that looks an awful collision, and Paul Elliott stays down, and the look of anguish on his face tells us it must be serious. An immediate concern on the faces of all the players around, and Bob Ward, the physiotherapist, was on the pitch in lightning quick time, summoned by referee John Key. I have to say, the challenge from Saunders didn't look a good one. It's not nice to hear the Liverpool supporters chanting Dino, Dino like that either. And Elliott is clearly in utter agony, and Chelsea must be worried that he could be out for a long time with this. So the free kick for Liverpool. Burrows lining himself up. There's some real atmosphere about this match now. And Lee comes over, and he confronts Saunders, and you have to say that tackle was born of revenge by David Lee, and he will be spoken to by referee Key. Liverpool's free kick, what can they do from it? Chelsea just forming up the two-man wall, and it's flicked in by Dean Saunders. He really glided that ball home, and he accepts the handshakes, and Liverpool are in front. I wonder, will it be his last goal for the club? Mulby. Oof, badly directed indeed, and it's given Eddie Newton a chance to run at Liverpool's defence. Fleck, has he got the pace to get around Jones? He has. Good work by Robert Fleck. Men waiting in the middle, including Harford. 1-1, and Mick Harford gets his third of the season for Chelsea. Headed away once more, not very far. Andy Townsend to pick it up there, and little Wise, who loves to scurry and take on the defences as he does now, gets that ball in for Harford, and it's gone through to David James. Challenge one this time, but the ball lands handily for Mark Walters. They've got some space down on this touchline. Fleck coming back to try and dispossess him, and Walters will look for a way round. Oh, he's managed to find a way through. Never mind. Good work from Mark Walters. Oh, Besson's missed it, and it's going to be a goal and a winner surely from Jamie Redknapp. Oh, an important intervention by Dave Besson, who comes way outside his area to effect the clearance, and does well. He's found Robert Fleck up there too. Good little build-up this from Chelsea. And the fine ball threaded through. Wise to Fleck, and surely a chance for Harford. And Chelsea in front with a goal from Mick Harford. Beautifully engineered. So the long clearance from Besant. And headed away. Which defenders struggling to get that ball clear, however, and Wise has chipped a delicate little ball over to Andy Townsend, and that's 2-0. Beautifully taken by Townsend. Lovely ball from Wise. Brook and Culverhouse combining down the right-hand side here, and more problems for Chelsea perhaps in the middle. Oh, an awful mistake by Besant, allowing Robbins to score. Towards the centre of the penalty area, but again Norwich City managing to get themselves free from trouble, and Culverhouse is the defender who brings it away once more. And down the line he'll try and find Newman. Oh, and Newman barges away the opposition to continue his run, and might to set up another for Robbins. 2-2 now, and Mark Robbins has got them both for Norwich City. Goss has made a strong and determined run through the middle, finds David Phillips, who's in good form with his shooting boots at the moment. Phillips might just try one from here. Does, shouldn't pose a problem. Oh no, what an awful, calamitous mistake by Besant. A nightmare day for him. On the line. And then, square ball in field was looking for Townsend, didn't find him. And it's taken on here by Max Sheeran, and he's made the break through the middle, and Chelsea really struggling. Hitchcock down to it. White surely will score. Excellent work by Hitchcock to prevent him. So the free kick here in a position of some danger, obviously, to Manchester City. Chelsea have been working on this sort of situation, and Lee might get a goal for Chelsea. Now Harford has. Lee initially, and Harford gets another one.
At the Bescot Stadium, Chelsea cruised to a comfortable victory against Walsall. Dennis Wise volleyed Chelsea in front after a defensive lapse. 11 minutes later, a flowing Chelsea move ended with Mick Harford's shot saved by Mark Gale. Eddie Newton pounced on the rebound. 12 minutes from time, Andy Townsend added a third. On Chelsea's last two visits to Walsall, they won 7-0 and 5-0. So a 3-0 defeat was at least a big improvement for the home side.
Well, he plays around this. Spackman's there, Townsend is there, Dennis Wise is there, and it's going to be reversed to Lee, and a thumping shot from Lee. I think it flicked the upright. So unlucky, David Lee, not to score. So the corner kick taken might cause a bit of confusion back there for Chelsea, headed straight up in the air by Newton. And now it's come across, and there must be a great chance for Bannister. Oh, he failed with his attempted chip. Hitchcock stood his ground well. So down the touchline goes Graham Stewart. And that long loping ball in finds Harford, and Crossley diving to his right, effecting the stop. Dixon, as usual, right back position, England man, and now it's threaded through towards Kevin Campbell on an important challenge one, but still comes Merson, brilliantly done by Paul Merson, typical Merson goal, a delightful chip. Line. That was Ian Wright stretching for it, and the tackle with Townsend has left him right down there, and Campbell comes on, and Campbell falls down inside the penalty area, screams for the award, and Kevin Campbell has won the penalty, which Lee Dixon will attempt to convert now for Arsenal. Trying to put them level, and doesn't do so. Super stop by Hitchcock. It may have come off the upright too. Chelsea continuing to attack down the left with Newton's throw in. Townsend couldn't get there. Sinclair knocking it forward again. Harford, a little Wise scurrying into the attack. Perhaps hoping to get onto the end of something here, and Dennis Wise comes for it and does get onto the end of it. He's only a little fellow, but my word, he gets some goals with his head. That's a beauty from Dennis Wise. Limpar on then for Arsenal. Let's see what he can do to try and change the course of the game. As the long clearance from Seaman is hit up there. Alan Smith couldn't get to it. Nice looking ball from Hillier, out as far as Limpar. So he's immediately getting a touch, the Swede, and fires the ball in. There might be a chance for Ian Wright, who stabs it into the net, and that's a typical Ian Wright strike for Arsenal. Limpar played his part, Wright finished it off. And the Swede delighted with his introduction. Dennis Wise will take the corner for Chelsea, looking to build on that 3-0 advantage from the first leg, and a thumping header from Sinclair just clears the bar. And it's Wise who's been instrumental in everything, and it might come down here for Graham Stewart, who tries to work an opening for himself. Did well, floated it just over the top of the Walsall net. Everything so far has come from Dennis Wise. He plies another corner in, and Sinclair goes for it, and Fleck should have done better. Good chance missed by Robert Fleck. This is Lee bringing it out for Chelsea, and a good piercing ball up the middle. And here there must be a good chance as Fleck lays it inside towards Wise, and West has brought him down, and that must be a penalty. Yes, it is. So Robert Fleck scores. It's 1-0 on the night and 4-0 on aggregate. Chelsea are through. Dennis Wise has taken up a good position and running strongly. This is a super run by Wise, and lays it off now for Gareth Hall. The Welsh fullback might just try a dip here, and does so, and it's sneaked in the inside of the upright. A first goal for 2.5 years for Gareth Hall. Takes these set pieces. Fleck going for it, appeared to be bundled over. It doesn't matter because Harford has rifled the ball in. Fleck was busy appealing for a penalty. Harford scored. Just 10 minutes to go as Johnson swings that ball over, and Steve Whitner's got one back for Ipswich now. Chelsea 2, Ipswich 1. Darren Barnard with the corner then for Chelsea. And surely a chance for Harford, and Chelsea in front with a goal from Mick Harford. Interesting to see that one again. Harford certainly claiming it, but there was a feeling it might have gone in off defender Pearce. Well, it's a moot point. The long ball up, dealt with quite capably. Coventry have a lot of pace in their side. Haven't been able to use much of it as yet, but here's a good chance, and the ball's surely going to go in, and Robert Rosario will claim the equaliser for Coventry City. A scrambled effort. Lee's free kick. Up towards Mick Harford, who's always there, always willing, and tries to lay something on it. Might come now for Graham Stewart. And that's a splendid goal by Stewart, who's certainly getting his share for Chelsea this season. So after all the mayhem, Dennis Wise will deliver this free kick. Chelsea need something from this. Can they get it? They can! Frank Sinclair, his first goal of the season, and a terrific one too for Chelsea. 30,000 fans going wild, and this is why. The ball delivered in by Wise, and a perfect header from Frank Sinclair. Quinn laying it off for John Beresford, the left back, signed from Portsmouth at the start of this season. That's a useful ball in, and here's an equaliser from Robert Lee, his first for the club since his move from Charlton. So Dennis Wise with the corner, and it's going to come all the way back to him as well. Needs a good ball in. Here's Harford, totally unmarked, and Mick Harford has got another one for Chelsea. They're back in front at 2-1. 8 minutes to go. Wise's cross, Harford unmarked, and he punishes slack marking. Ball. Townsend with a number of options here. It only succeeds in giving it away to Glyn Hodges, and Hodges persuades Littlejohn to take on Sinclair up the middle. On goes Littlejohn, and Littlejohn has scored for Sheffield United. He took that supremely well. But Andy Townsend crestfallen. Townsend will be eager to make up for that mistake, and he's involved again here, taking on Gannon. Another little ball back, perhaps to Townsend. He's got him inside Sheffield United's penalty area. Andy Townsend with a chance maybe, and he takes it. An equaliser for Chelsea. And Andy Townsend, as we'll see from the replay here, he was so keen to make amends for his error, and he's done so in the perfect manner. 1-1. It's a huge throw down the line, and Littlejohn picks it up for Sheffield United. And again he takes on Sinclair. The pass rolled back to Hitchcock, who was... Oh, he took one touch too many. Littlejohn can punish him here. Brian Deane coming in, and off the upright. Brian Deane restores Sheffield United's advantage. Hitchcock so upset, but Deane, who's had a lean time, has got the goal. Severe ligament damage had already brought Paul Elliott's season to an abrupt end. Now he must watch from the sidelines and reflect on that controversial Dean Saunders tackle at Liverpool.
I just remember really being stretchered off and going into the Liverpool physiotherapist room and really realising how much pain there was. That's what the worst thought in my mind.
There were fewer laughs in the dressing room following the departure of club comic Joe Allen to Brentford. There's some real width in this attack now as Stewart finds Fleck out wide on the right again. Good ball in from him. It's gone in. Turned into his own net by Richard Shaw. That's a bonus for Chelsea. Lee, a long and searching ball, and out on that far side, as always, is Fleck. Instantly, he's turned it inside here for Graham Stewart. A brilliant goal from Graham Stewart. Magnificent strike from the youngster. Newton. With Linus Sinatov, they may find themselves stretched here in defence. It's come down to Harford. And that's another glorious goal. 3 for Chelsea now. Longer one this time, finding Eddie McGoldrick maybe, edge of the area, and he's brought down by Lee. That's a crunching tackle, but an illegal one. So and Wise, as the free kick will come in here from Salako, and Eric Young is in, and they've got one back. Perhaps too little too late though. Just a minute from half-time as Jackson will contest this ball with Dennis Wise, and Wise wins it back for Chelsea as well. Now it's going to be reversed here for Mal Donaghy. Donaghy, deep ball to the back post, Harford waiting for it. Here's Mick Harford, the shot saved by Southall, but Fleck's there. Robert Fleck for Chelsea on the stroke of half-time. The Scot, who has found goals so scarce since his move from Norwich City, gets a priceless one here just a minute before half-time. Chelsea lead 1-0. Inside the Leeds penalty area, gets a good shot in, and Lukic making the stop. Hall, time really running out now. Just less than 4 minutes left as the ball is played up into the Leeds penalty area. Here comes Andy Townsend, and he may have won it. Andy Townsend timed the run to perfection, and Leeds pay the penalty. Are they to go down again to a late goal? It was Hall's ball in. There was a bit of a wrestling match there with Newsom involved with Wise. Townsend tucked it away. Russian goalkeeper Dmitry Karin signed for Chelsea for £200,000. Further payments to follow after 30 and 60 appearances.
That's the measure of the wind. Sinclair not beaten by the player, but beaten by the conditions. Beasley tries the shot over the conditions. Big call on Kevin Hitchcock. The ball was going to the left as Beasley hit it, and suddenly the wind caught it and took it to the right. Free kick taken quickly. It's Wise with the cross. Sinclair still up. Lee's header. Falls to Fleck, he's got a second chance, but Keown tight. Oh, and the goal to Chelsea. Well, the Everton players were just standing and watching. Mick Harford's claiming it. Southall has a little bit of time before Harford closes him down. And that's not a bad ball to Stuart Barlow, just shoved in the back by Sinclair. Since he joined Everton, Howard Kendall said that when one goal comes for Stuart Barlow, they'll come in numbers. Free kick to Chelsea. And a period of intense pressure from the visitors. All since the two clubs made the substitutions. Little flick over the top. A header, and that's been another Southall. And Graham Stewart has brought Chelsea back into the game.
Good ball for Wise, edge of the Spurs penalty area. Here comes Eddie Newton, and he scores. Eddie Newton pouncing for Chelsea. 77 minutes gone. Oh, he's happy now. There's a lovely ball into him from Dennis Wise, and Newton scores. Wise, architect of the first goal. 5 minutes to go as he plays it out wide here again. There could be something on again for Chelsea. Newton once more can finish it, and he's wrapped up the points for Chelsea. 2 for them, 2 for Eddie Newton. Just a couple of minutes on the clock. Oh, a dreadful miss kick by Sinclair. There could be something on here for Campbell. And is it the first ever goal for Campbell? It is. Consolation for Spurs.
Fleming knocking it forward. It's a little bit scrappy. Wise trying to come away with it. He's muscled out of it. Here's Tommy Wright. He's going to try it. Takes a deflection on the way through. And a vital save by Hitchcock, because that might have been creeping in.
Well, that's an even better save than his last one from Kevin Hitchcock. I just wonder if Craig Hignett had it sneaked in, whether he'd have been claiming his first goal. Watch as Tommy Wright hits it. Just there. Catches Craig Hignett on the knee. And Kevin Hitchcock has to be at his very best.
I bet he would have claimed it as well, Hignett. You know, he needs one for Middlesbrough. Yet another Middlesbrough corner. Stewart getting it away, and another brilliant save. Hignett is denied once again, and Hitchcock here, well, doesn't he love appearing live on Sky? He was doing things like this at Manchester City.
Doesn't he like breaking Craig Hignett's heart? This is the third strike in about 5 minutes that Hitchcock had to be very, very well positioned to save.
The up and under from Pollock. Lee wins it in the air, as he's very well equipped to do at his height. Townsend. Now Lasso hugging this left-hand touchline, and again looking to run Fleming. That's a good-looking ball. Stewart, and this time Pears is the one forced into the acrobatics.
2 goals against Tottenham last week, all owed to magnificent crosses, and this is another one from Graham Lasso. Sure, you don't have to beat the player, but Stephen Pears has to be very alert.
There was nothing in it when these sides met and drew 2-2, so who can make a breakthrough now? Here comes Andy Townsend, hell-bent on doing that, and that's hard luck on Townsend. Good effort. A long looping ball trying to catch Everton out. Fleck has it, edge of the area, tries to tee something up for them here now. Lasso knocking it back, and here's a shot, and it's crept in from Andy Townsend. A bit of a daisy cutter, too good for Southall though. 1-0 Chelsea through Andy Townsend. Townsend tussling for it again. Oh, and that's an awful tackle, and the referee will take some retribution here, probably on Gareth Hall. Although I have to say that Billy Kenny too looked rather intent on some malice. But the referee, Mr. Borrett, is going to have strong words with Hall, and the Welsh international may be fortunate to stay on. But if you watch here, I think you'll see that Kenny also lifts his foot as he goes in for the challenge there. He's jumping as well, but he comes off worst. Now what is Mr. Borrett going to do? Gareth Hall awaits the verdict, and it's a red card. And despite the groans from the Chelsea fans, Hall can have no complaint. So Chelsea reduced to 10 men as Hall goes off, and I think Howard Kennell's got a word or two for him as well. Is there time left for Everton to rescue this? A corner for them inside the penalty area. The ball comes to right out. It hit the post. It's the cue for Mick Harford. The Chelsea striker has told his manager that his calf strain will probably hold up for only about 30 minutes. So Ian Porterfield throws Harford into the battle, and he's got 24 minutes in which to make an impact. Hitchcock will restart play with this free kick, and no doubt he'll be looking for the head of Harford as the rain teems down here. Harford challenged by Pallister, the ball breaking, and a free kick awarded against Brian McClare. Chelsea will want to take this one quickly. Andy Townsend, Dennis Wise there, and Mr. Townsend asking Mr. Lewis to move away. So the free kick to be taken square. Here comes David Lee, and a thumping shot from Lee. A goal for Chelsea. Schmeichel beat it all, ends up. It took a deflection, and David Lee has got his first Premier League goal. Cracking shot. The deflection confused Schmeichel. Giggs for United as they seek to come back into this one. The ball now with Cantona inside the area. An equaliser from the Frenchman. Eric Cantona can do no wrong for United at the moment, and he gets the equaliser. Swivelled, shot into the corner, 1-1. Throw from Perry Groves. Moncau there challenging for it. It's going to come back for Groves, who loops one in, and there might be chances here as it's flicked away off the head to Ian Dowie. Dowie, a cracking strike, and what a good goal for Southampton. And knees up for Ian Dowie. Good goal. Wise for Chelsea. Stewart for Chelsea. Inside Southampton's penalty area, taking on Adams. And whipped over the top of the Southampton crossbar. Donaghy down the line for Lasso, who's got the pace as he takes on Dodd. The cross, a good one. Here's Stewart. And a little dinked header that drifts wide of the upright. Chelsea still driving forward, looking for this equaliser. Here now Wise, already past Benali. Might tee somebody up. And there's the ball over the top for Wise again. Newton tried to play him in. Flowers made the stop, and he makes another one now from Spencer. 2 good saves by Tim Flowers, in such good form this season. Letitia for Southampton. If they make it 2-0, the game will be dead, and a good save by Hitchcock there from Dodd, the substitute. Letitia again, Hitchcock again. 2 good stops from the Chelsea keeper. Lee driving forward, Chelsea still coming, still wanting this equaliser. Newton's inside the penalty area. Eddie Newton, he's got one. Chelsea at last get their goal, and Eddie Newton has got the fans happy again with the equaliser. Chelsea 1, Southampton 1. Eddie Newton, man of the moment. Fashanu, a sweeping ball out here for Lawrie Sanchez. Just inside Chelsea's penalty area, it's coming over towards Earl, not straight up in the air. Back again for Sanchez. Wimbledon getting bodies in there, but Chelsea coping. Oh, it's smacked against Fashanu by Hall, and Fashanu surely now scrambled away for a throw-in. It looked as though Fashanu had to score. Hardley will take the free kick, and he takes it quickly, and he'll look for the head maybe of Fashanu, maybe of Scales, and it is Scales to Fashanu. Still it won't go in. Scales with the final effort over the top. That's a nice looking ball for Fleck, and Fleck in field, and this Stewart shot well pounced on by Seggers. Ball knocked back for Hitchcock, not a good clearance at all. It gives Earl a chance to set something up straight away. And then the covering defender Sinclair will ask his goal. He puts his keeper into trouble again, and Hitchcock scrambles it out once more as far as Vinnie Jones, who is side down by Sinclair, no more than a couple of feet outside the penalty area. Well, Vinnie Jones has seen it all before and sees the funny side. Oh, there's a mad tussle going on here, and the free kick given up. The lights have gone out. Well, some wags in the crowd will probably feel that's the best part of the day. Please be patient. Well, they're confident that the lights will be back in 5 to 7 minutes. We shall see. Or we won't see, as the case may be. Normal service restored, but it's still 0-0 here as Andy Myers tees one up for Dennis Wise, and a great stop by Seggers. Wise really caught hold of that one, and the Dutchman made a thrilling stop. Turned back by Andy Myers, and Dennis Wise with his right foot. He doesn't often hit them that hard. Still these two teams battling away. Up the middle it goes, and a chance surely for Miller to win it for Wimbledon now. Miller! Oh, an excellent save from Hitchcock. He got the palms to it.
We just played Man United, haven't we, and we'd drawn with them, and I think with the Middlesbrough game away we drew 0-0 and we could have beaten them. There's been an awful lot of games, a lot of could-haves for us this year. But we were playing some good football. We was playing as good a football as anybody at that time. And I think really the actual league title is very, very difficult to win, and I think that would have been a difficult task with so many new young faces in, you know, for the first time in a season, and with the squad we had, I don't think, you know, it would have perhaps been good enough to go all the way.
McGoldrick there for Crystal Palace. All is kept in play very skillfully there by McGoldrick, knocking it long and forward, and easy for Sinclair to knock it back and say, oh, it's been held up! Exactly, it's in! Only just! And it's Chris Coleman! Well, Sinclair's back pass didn't look like reaching Hitchcock. It was a dangerous thing to do on this surface. He tried to knock it wide, all he did was knock it into a pool. In comes Coleman, and in fact you'll find the ball gets held up and barely crosses the Chelsea line. It's spinning, and just goes over the line, and Palace are in the lead. McGoldrick battling to get it away. Newton doing well for Chelsea there. Fleck knocking it in again towards Harvard. Myers was in there as well. And a great save by Martin from Graham Stewart. And Chelsea so close to getting that equaliser. Thomas having a battle there. Wins it away for Chelsea. Confronted by McGoldrick. Getting it onto the left foot. A super goal! 1-1. Andy Townsend for Chelsea. What a super goal. Real pace and power and strength through these sort of areas. Just nicking it wide of McGoldrick. Getting it onto that favoured left foot of his and banging it past Martin to make it 1-1. Over towards Coleman. Eric Young's in there too. And Ford tries to get in there. And it's over the line and the goal is given. George Endar. He showed too much of that to Myers, but they still got away with it as Humphrey turns it in. Endar on the far side. Roger coming in as well, just clipping it in. And it's another one. And this time Grant Watts has made it 3-1. Now reached the last 5 minutes as Graham Lasso takes the corner for Chelsea. Another good shot again by Townsend and a wonderful save once more by Martin.
Manchester City's Niall Quinn taking the free kick. Oh, that was quick thinking, and he's released David White, and David White gives Manchester City the lead. All down to the quick thinking of Niall Quinn. Sheeran for City. They're leading by 1-0 already, and White's inside that Chelsea penalty area and across the face of goal. 2-0. Sheeran started and finished the move. Rick Holden. Renowned as the best crosser of a ball, but his feeling, he might set something up here now. It's gone in! It's an own goal from Steve Clarke. Sequence of headers. Getting that ball through for Lasso now. How Chelsea need a goal. They might get one here as well. They have from Graham Stewart. Is there time now for Chelsea to fight their way back into this one? 12 minutes left. Driven up towards the edge of that Manchester City penalty area. Here comes John Spencer! Rifles the ball home. 3-2 now. Come on, he says. There is time. A long kick from Tony Coton. Flicked on towards Niall Quinn. Lee shadowing him. And City looking to seal their victory, which Sheeran has done. 4-2. 2 for Sheeran. Hitchcock helpless. Pollock's going to be underneath this one. It's a difficult ball to control, and it slices away off his boot. Might set something up here for Chelsea. Lasso's cross, and he's going to go in for an own goal. So unlucky, Nicky Mohan. He could do nothing. He was facing the wrong way, really, and diverted the ball into his own net. Pollock trying to make up for his mistake. It certainly was that which led to the goal. And now Hitchcock's made one, and Tommy Wright could equalise for Middlesbrough. Tommy Wright pouncing there to capitalise on Hitchcock's error. Free kick from Pollock, driven high into the Chelsea penalty area. Where was the marking? Middlesbrough in front. Willie Falconer scores, and Middlesbrough could be on their way to the 4th round.
I think the Palace game would have had a, looking back, could have had a serious effect on us, because, you know, that was the first kind of game we'd had up to then that we totally dominated and lost. You know, we totally dominated that match and lost down to some, you know, not necessarily bad mistakes. I mean, Frank blimey, the ball, you can't always legislate for the ball sticking in the mud. Next time he might, you know, boot it out or whatever, but he was only trying to do what he knows best. You know, their keeper performed heroics, and everyone gave 120% on that night and couldn't have done a lot more. And again, the Middlesbrough game was slightly different. That was a kind of had a little bit of naivety or whatever, but it wasn't down to just one of those nights. I think, you know, we should have had that game sewn up.
Scott Gamble looking for the piercing ball through. The flag stays down. He looked yards offside. Gary Crosby. Surely it's going to be a goal for Gary Bannister. But where was the offside flag? They look yards off. Crosby had to be offside. Forward come Chelsea once more with Graham Stewart. Always wants to take people on, Stewart. He's improved so much this season, and he lays the ball down the line for Townsend, who skips past the first challenge. Townsend inside the Forest penalty area here, rolling it back, and a thumping shot. What a good effort that was from Craig Burley. So unlucky to hit the bar. And then it's played back in again from Newton, and it drifts wide of the far upright. But Burley was unlucky there. Wone with the free kick for Forest. And there's a header from Bannister, which has found its way into the roof of Chelsea's net. 2 for Forest and 2 for Bannister. Clough. Oh, that's a lovely typical ball from Nigel Clough, which gets Wone coming away down the left again. And here's the ball across the face of the Chelsea goal! And that's put the seal on it. Orlickson scores. 3-0 for Forest. What a day for them.
Looks like a very determined Queen's Park Rangers side tonight. And it's a nice ball played on by Impey, and it comes through to Ferdinand. Has he got the finish? Great save by Karen. Allen, nicely touched off to Holloway. Turns inside. Nice neat play by Rangers at the moment. Onside Ferdinand. Can he get to it? Still Ferdinand. The shot again denied by Dimitri Karen. Graham Stewart inside, and McDonald getting the ball away. Only as far as Graham Stewart. Chelsea looking dangerous. Comes over and it's in! Chelsea score! John Spencer. John Spencer gets the goal. And Chelsea take the lead in the opening minute of this second half. There's a lovely little cross from Graham Stewart, and the head of John Spencer past Tony Roberts. Queen's Park Rangers 0, Chelsea 1. Now it's Graham Lasso and Simon Barker back to cover, and Danny Maddox. Rangers in trouble in defence. Could be something on here. Spencer again. Spencer with the shot. Oh, and Tony Roberts got his hand down to that. And that was going in the near corner if it wasn't for Tony Roberts. Overcomes, and great save! What a magnificent save by Tony Roberts. Point blank header. And the challenge on John Spencer by Devon White. His first touch of the game gets him a booking by the looks of things. So Rangers, who've been putting a lot of pressure on Chelsea. Can they get an equaliser here? Brefford playing it in. Maddox comes across, and yes, it's a goal! Rangers have equalised! Yes, it's 1-1! And the biggest cheer round Loftus Road is with Queen's Park Rangers supporters. Chelsea are completely silenced. In it came. The header by Maddox. Bradley Allen makes it 1-1.
These two sides figured in a marvellous match at Hillsborough earlier this season. That was Warhurst tussling for it then. It's clattered away by Sinclair. And Harford comes to try and win it for Chelsea. Forward again into space, and Bart Williams giving chase. And Dimitri Karen here on his home debut putting the ball out. Good instinctive response. I think Ian Porterfield's told him just to play it safe today. The throw in. Williams again there, and here's Worthington's ball in, and Warhurst, a brilliant goal. A tremendous strike from the stand-in striker, Paul Warhurst. He reckons not to like the job too. Anybody would have been proud of this one. It's a first-time effort. He doesn't even think twice about it, where most people would have controlled it. He just cracks it into the net. Stewart's corner for Chelsea. Woods coming for it. Can't really get there. Here's Spencer now, and it's kept out on the line by John Sheridan. Appeals for a penalty here. John Spencer disappointed. His shot doesn't count, but it's excellent defending by Sheridan on the line. Despite those appeals for a penalty, he chested it down. And Jerry Payton on for the second half in place of Dimitri Karin. On loan from Everton. And now Lissette. He slips, and that could let Wednesday in for a second chance. Danny Wilson losing out, however, to Lissette. Then plays the ball forward. And Sinclair loses out, and here now inside the area, Harkes, and John Harkes makes it 2-0, and Wednesday are home and dry. Ritchie for Oldham. Oh, and it came off Roger Milford, and it might have set Nick Henry up. Well, a goal assist from the referee. Henry delighted. Referee Milford set him up. The mist really coming in now as Oldham have this corner kick, and they've got a second goal from the head of Neil Adams. Perhaps the Chelsea defenders never saw him in the fog. Forward again from Henry, and diverted back to Hitchcock, who's got to scramble it away under the challenge of Olney. And then Brennan, he's lofted one towards the net. What a goal from Mark Brennan! Townsend. And, the pitch beginning to churn up a little now as Hall dicks it inside the penalty area. Here now is Fleck and cuts it back across for Harford, and Harford's got one back for Chelsea. Too little too late, I fear, but it's now Oldham 3, Chelsea 1, Mick Harford the scorer. Still 0-0 as Barnard plays it forward for Fleck, who tries to tee up Barnard again, and a great save from David James, just getting his fingertips to Barnard's shot. So John Barnes shouldn't tangle about with him, and Barnes to McManaman, and McManaman wide. That's the best chance Liverpool have had. The ball in the hands of Mark Bosnich, and he's got a good clearing kick on him. That's halfway inside the Chelsea half, and then the two defenders make a dreadful mess of it, and they've set up Ray Houghton to score. Donaghy and Sinclair really got in each other's way, and Ray Houghton, who nearly joined Chelsea in the summer, gives Villa the lead. Well, that defeat proved one too many for manager Ian Porterfield, who was sacked following a run of 12 games without a win. Defending the decision, chairman Ken Bates said the team had lost as many matches as it had won since Porterfield took charge back in 1991. The players, however, were not altogether surprised by the turn of events.
Ian was a nice fella, you know. He did what he saw best, and in football management, you don't particularly get a real lengthy crack of the whip, if you like, if success isn't just round the corner. And Ian was purely a victim of that. And I was obviously a little bit sort of stunned when I first heard, but not surprised really.
Step-up ex-Chelsea hero David Webb called in to manage the team for the rest of the season at least, and it was a job he'd always hoped for.
Has been ever since I packed in playing. I mean, I always remember when I played, I thought, well, it'd be nice to pack in playing when about 34 and go straight in and take over somewhere like Chelsea. It's taken a few years longer.
To start the second half, hoping that they will be able to defend as effectively as they have done for much of the season, but not in recent weeks. But Wegerle and Newell, that's handball on the line, and Mike Newell, a player who was sent off for deliberate handball himself this season at Wimbledon, wonders whether the same fate here will befall Frank Sinclair.
Not wonders, Martin. He's on his way off. I feel sure of it. He's on his way off. It's handball. He's gone. I think he's even apologising to the referee.
David Allison left under the laws of the game as they stand at the moment with no alternative.
Oh, what a horrific start. Again, it's not a good header back. And he's on it in a flash, Roy Wegerle. But there you see it. The right hand comes up. It's off the line. The penalty, he's off.
Mike Newell, who had a penalty saved here recently by Nigel Martin of Crystal Palace, now takes on Kevin Hitchcock. Oh, and he's missed woefully. Two sides in their second meeting of the season have only produced the one goal that we've seen today, and that was a fluke. Oh, this could be another one for Newell. The goal is gaping for him. He must walk it in, and he does. And Mike Newell finally makes a major impact on the second half, having had some mishaps, and Kenny Dalglish leads the applause.
So a disappointing start for David Webb, whose team selection had raised a few eyebrows.
People said to me recently, did you pick that team at Blackburn? I said, yeah, I picked it. But what I'd done, I'd tapped into everybody's thought processes in and around the club. And that was a very quick decision for me, you know, it had to be done. But I realised then there was only one way to get out of it, and that was to make my own mind up. And pick who I wanted to pick. And that's exactly how it happened. And the game didn't go as I planned, but you know, I got a hell of a lot from that game.
Graham Lasso left Chelsea for Blackburn Rovers for £700,000 just prior to the transfer deadline, in a deal that also brought striker Steve Livingston to the Bridge for £250,000.
It's a well-timed run, and Arsenal could be some business here. Here's Flats. Besant makes a crucial save, and he's going to feel a whole lot better there. But Arsenal there almost came up with the sucker punch.
Well, I said I felt they would offer more as an attacking force. And Mark Flats now playing as a front runner, basically times his run to perfection. What a fine save from Dave Besant.
Merson. Now there might be something here for Kevin Campbell. Campbell is through. Can Besant save Chelsea again? He can. And Besant is fast becoming the hero of the night here at Stamford Bridge. Sinclair bursting forward from the back. But he's out of position as Campbell tries to get on the end of this, but Johnson doing some important covering. Chelsea pushing forward. Here's Spencer with his first touch. Stewart's continued his run. Could it be the goal? It is! Chelsea are ahead! Graham Stewart's got it!
Well, what a substitution that was. What an important part. Little John Spencer plays in it. But it was in the wide area it started from again. I said if they stay wide, then Stewart will get himself in 1-against-1 situations. That's when he finds himself. No one around him. Leaderson's been attracted wide here to Hall. But watch the way he times the ball to perfection. Not a question of offside. And what a super cool finish from Stewart.
Danger here now as Graham Stewart gets inside Everton's area. The ball raps against the upright. And this was a very fine effort from Stewart. He's so unlucky. One for Spencer to chase, hustled by Ablett, edge of the Everton penalty area, cuts it back. Stewart's followed in, and a goal for Chelsea. Graham Stewart. Southall could do not a lot with this because Spencer had done well. It was an angle shot, he palmed it out, and Stewart followed through. Wider now to Andy Hinchcliffe. On the line is Barlow, and a good ball in now might stretch Chelsea. It's looping over towards the defence and over the top of them, and Kenny scores! Good angle shot from Billy Kenny, and Everton have got one back. Stewart drifting infield once more, on he goes as well, takes it back. Was there a handball there? The referee says no, so Spencer plays on and on and on. It's gone in from John Spencer. Everton complaining bitterly here that there was a handball. Let's have a look at this as the ball bounced up. It struck the arm, if anything. but John Spencer didn't worry about that and scores a fine goal. Everton, meanwhile, continue their protest to referee Bodenham. And they're going to get into trouble if they continue to argue. But referee Bodenham decided there was no handball and Chelsea went on to score. March would also see the transfer of Mick Harford, who returned to his native Sunderland for £250,000. In 8 months at the Bridge, Mick scored 11 goals in 34 outings and instantly became a crowd favourite. His last game was at Crystal Palace.
Knock on from Graham Stewart towards John Spencer. Spencer finding space to run in, he's put Graham Stewart in here, great chance for Chelsea! And Graham Bobby Stewart scores for the Blues! And it was made for him quite superbly. Graham Stewart is scoring a lot of goals lately, and here it goes.
Well, we saw this combination produce a victory against Arsenal at Stamford Bridge. It's almost a carbon copy of the move. Wonderfully weighted ball, that was the key to this move. Super run from Graham Stewart, but it's the weight of the pass that provides him and enables him to take it first time.
Well, let's try to find a way back. Richard Shaw with a throw. Southgate with a cross, and there it is! Crystal Palace equalise, and it's Chris Armstrong, the £1 million man, who gets the goal and adds a bit of money on to his already inflated price tag. Chris Armstrong ties it up for the Eagles.
Might be just a bit too far out for Anderton to hit this one on Naeem, and Anderton in fact looped it across the penalty area. Ruddock's gone in for it, and surely there was a handball there by Erland Johnson. Spurs players protest and claim the penalty, and it's given by Mr. Dilks. Up steps Sheringham, and that's in. A goal for Teddy Sheringham. Spurs in front. Townsend, a surging run from him, and the ball looped back to him as well. And here comes Cascarino! An equaliser for Chelsea. Crafted by Townsend, finished by Cascarino. A throw taken quickly by Batty. Finds Kerslake, the recent signing from Swindon. Useful ball in. Here comes Wetherell! And a first ever goal from the head of David Wetherell. Laid off by Donaghy. That looked like a foul from Steve Hodge, but the referee has waved play on, so Chelsea do that. And they've plenty of men up here. Wise and Clark involved in the move. Wetherell knocking it out only as far as Wise again. And Wise trying to get to the byline, cuts it back. There should be an equaliser. And a rare goal indeed from Mal Donaghy. Oh, he loved that. Linking up nicely with Gareth Hall this time. Oh, and a lovely dink ball as well from Hall. An intelligent run by Stewart. It's gone across the face of goal! And it's Mal Donaghy! I don't believe it. He didn't score for 5 years. He's now got 2 in 2 games. He really has found the knack of goal scoring, the Irishman. It's a lovely ball in from Stewart, who'd made a splendid run, and Donaghy there to finish it off. The line, and Barnard is fleet of foot and whips that ball back, laid off by Cascarino. It's another for Chelsea and another for the former Rangers man John Spencer. Spencer again involved, and Barnard, the two combining neatly here. He's teasing Fleming, the ball over, finding Cascarino, doing a good job there, and another good run made by Clark, and it's gone in. I think it went in off Graham Stewart, really. He'll take the credit, certainly. I'm not sure how much he intended of that. Andy Townsend looping that ball across. They always look for the head of Cascarino, but this time it's coming over for Barnard. And Darren Barnard celebrates his first ever goal.
Free kick then to Ipswich. This is John Walk. Milton to Dozzell, they're in here, Gwenchef, 1-0! Superb football beautiful one-touch approach, and Chelsea's defence were left like figurines as Ipswich Town knocked the ball 1-2-3, and Gwenchev turned up with the blistering finish. His 8th goal of the season. It's Ipswich Town 1, Chelsea 0. Cascarino. Oh, and a chance here. Shot coming in, 1-1. John Spencer. His 5th goal of the season. And really the only chance that Chelsea have had so far. And he took it magnificently. Hall getting it forward. Gascarino jumping well. This is Gareth Hall again. One blocked. Back to Townsend. Oh, that's a superb strike by Townsend. Crashed it, left-footed from 20 yards. And it lasted against Baker's crossbar. A let-off there then for Ipswich. And a thunderous shot coming in.
Southampton move forward once more. Johnson's header out, met by Hurlock. Here goes Dowie, and he'll try one from here as well, and Besant can't hold it, and he's punished. A goal for Southampton from Nicky Banger. Besant's mistake, and Banger was there. Philip Spencer just never stops working for Chelsea. He's done so again. Now it's Erland Johnson. Ball knocked in, and coming in behind the defender was Graham Stewart. You feel he should have scored. Tremendous ball from Johnson, and Stewart beat the defence but couldn't direct the header on the target. Again, Chelsea concentrate their attack down that right-hand side. Little Dennis Wise scurrying and finding somebody even smaller than him in Spencer, who goes down, and referee Ellery says that's a penalty. He'd no hesitation in pointing to the spot here. It didn't seem to be a hefty challenge by any means, but Spencer is usually very nimble on his feet. He's gone down, and so here is Dennis Wise, and he blasts it straight into the roof of the Wimbledon net past Hans Seggers. 1-0 Chelsea, Dennis Wise. Wise again, tugging away at the jersey apparently of Scales there. And nicking it back. That was a lovely ball here. Stewart. Here comes Hall. And a rare goal indeed for Gareth Hall. Stewart's ball was perfect. Laid into the path of the fullback, who wallops it home. Might be chances he's onside. Robbie Earle here must surely set something up for Wimbledon. And here comes Holdsworth. Had to score. Dean Holdsworth. Once Earle was away, Wimbledon were always certain to be scorers. It's Hopkin, the signing from Morton in Scotland. Again, Wise involved. Good ball in from him, laid off by Shipley. And yes, it's a goal for Spencer. Calmly taken, and Shipley takes much of the credit here, breasting the ball down. And then John Spencer, cool as you like, just tucked it inside the upright. Another good break from Chelsea. Wimbledon struggling at the back at the moment. Here comes Shipley. He's inside the area, and Neil Shipley marks his full debut with a goal. And his dad, who used to play for Charlton and Gillingham, will be delighted for his boy. 4 for Chelsea. Holdsworth has ridden that challenge well, and finding Dean Blackwell now, who's come on as substitute and might lay on another for Wimbledon. And it's 2 for them now. Laurie Sanchez the scorer. 4-2 the score.
Giggs and Sharp have certainly swapped for the time being. A defensive side of Gareth Hall's game, but it breaks for Hughes. Oh, and it's gone past Besant. And Manchester United have forged their way in front here. Through Mark Hughes. Many of these supporters here at the ground, a good 4 or 5 hours before kick-off, just wanting to be part of these proceedings as they believe Manchester United are moving inexorably towards ending this famine in terms of the league title. Oh, Clark, an own goal! He tried to get it outside the post, and he put it into the corner of his own net. And it is 2-0. Sharp quickly on the scene. Just too high for Hughes. It was a ball played into a reasonable area by Lee Sharp, who certainly, since they made that switch quite early in the piece, has been quite prominent on the right-hand side for Manchester United. Hughes, Giggs is in here over Besant, Cantona! 3-0.
There's plenty of pace about this Chelsea side, and on goes Townsend now, and Spencer's trying to get ahead of him. He's inside that Coventry area, round the keeper, and it's gone in. It trickled over the line off the boot of the fullback Fleming, but it's John Spencer's goal, and a lot of credit to Andy Townsend as well. Not only for the run, but for the release of the ball as well. Just look at this, perfect timing, perfect weight on the pass. And once Spencer got onto it, he knew where he was going. He's around Jonathan Gould, and Fleming's just a little unlucky. It came off the inside of his leg. Phil Babb with this free kick for Coventry. They'll look for the head of Big John Williams up there, no doubt. Pumped long and high, and Karine coming from it makes a very good punch indeed. Here is Mick Quinn still, however. Oh, that's a classic strike from Mick Quinn. Wise again. Babb presents a huge obstacle in front of him, but Wise will curl one across here, and the ball knocked down by Bernard for Cascarino to score. Tony Cascarino regaining the lead for Chelsea here. Excellent work from Wise and from Barnard, and the tall Irish international in the right place at the right time. And so to the very last game of the season. The lads arrive at Bramall Lane, home of a Sheffield United side that's just steered clear of relegation. The decision on whether or not David Webb would be offered the manager's job for next season was imminent. But first, 3 last points are at stake. So will Sheffield United be rewarded for their early pressure from this corner? Whitehouse will take it, and he'll swing it in towards that near post. Beasley coming for it, and a goal forced over the line by Andy Scott in the 7th minute of his debut. The former Sutton United man has scored. Whitehouse again swinging that ball across, and it's gone all the way through for Rodgers. 2-0 Sheffield United, and 2 goals by former Sutton players. Here goes Dean again, galloping down that right, always trouble. Long ball in, finding Whitehouse again, the first time shot! Brilliant goal for Sheffield United and for Dean Whitehouse. And they're going to bury him in the turf. Away goes Bradshaw again, and Chelsea so stretched now, and that's another one! Whitehouse again, 3 minutes into the second half. Sheffield United 4, Chelsea 0, and the Russian goalkeeper says, what's going on? 4 minutes left, and Chelsea's fans still urging the team on. Here comes Lee, and Kelly's made the mistake, which gives Chelsea the goal. And the goalkeeper, even with only 4 minutes of the season left, curses his luck. Ball over the top, finds Andy Townsend, who's surely offside. No, there's no flag, and he scores 4-2, and that must surely be the last goal of the season, scored by Andy Townsend.
Now Eddie Newton, Frank Sinclair, Graham Stewart, these sort of kids, they are now established players, and now all of a sudden people are going to be looking to them to be, you know, a major part of Chelsea's team for the future, which is good.
Really, only I was asked to do one thing in real terms, that was to keep them in the Premier Division. And in looking back now, we've done that, I suppose, fairly comfortably. If you look back on it, it wasn't very comfortable as we were trying to achieve it, but we've done it quite comfortably. So that was the objective. In the last few games, what I've tried to do is not knowing whether I'll be here next year or not. What I've tried to do is establish some ideas on people again, like I did with the Blackburn game, is to throw a few odd people in here and there and some in different positions to see what strength of the squad I would have, so give me some sort of idea for the summer. Otherwise you start off at the beginning of next season with not too great an idea and you start from scratch again. Because really you should be able to start maybe at least a third of the way up the ladder.
In our last competition, we asked you to identify the Chelsea player sporting a tattoo. Former Fulham resident Scott Rodley, now of Leeds, wins an autographed football for guessing correctly that the player was Gareth Hall. Now we offer a prize of a VIP day for two at Chelsea's first home game next season in our Goal of the Season competition. Jones trying the longer approach this time, though Marshall should have this one under control all right. Oh, it's just nicked away from him. Might just give a chance to Mick Harford. Glorious strike, and the former England man has opened his account for Chelsea.
The goal was a pleasurable thing to get, yeah, and it's nice to score any time, but to score on your debut was great. I think it was Vinny played a long ball forward. I think that Marshall got mixed up a little bit and it fell nicely for me. I thought about chipping it, but I changed my mind, thankfully, and I just blasted it and it flew in the back of the net.
Lobbed back in by Warhurst. So as far as Graham Stewart. He's got plenty of room here and sets off on a canter over the halfway line, and the Wednesday defender sort of melting away from him, and Stewart has gone a long way here. Oh, a brilliant run by Stewart, and that's a fabulous goal. And Graham Stewart has a right to celebrate. That's one of the best goals you'll see all season.
It was fairly deep in my own half. And, you know, I just ran, and I think it was only till when I got into the last 25 yards that I had to really do some hard work. But, you know, it came about, and I was really pleased to have scored a goal.
Almost having a battle there. Townsend brings it away for Chelsea. Confronted by McGoldrick. Getting it onto the left foot. A super goal! 1-1. Andy Townsend.
They were coming towards me, and then they just sort of managed to get it onto my left foot, and I whacked it well, and Nigel Martin got a hand to it, but it ended up in the back of the net. But you know, I think it was quite a good goal, but it was more a goal because of the conditions, I think, really.
So is the goal of the season A, Mick Harford's against Oldham Athletic, B, Graham Stewart's goal at Sheffield Wednesday, or could it be goal C by Andy Townsend against Crystal Palace? Your answers on a postcard, please, by July the 15th to Telstar Video Entertainment at this address. The goal with the most votes wins, and the prize goes to the first name out of the hat who chooses that goal. The chairman's vision of Chelsea 2000 continues, and now you have a chance to help run Chelsea Pitch Owners, a company which will ensure the ground remains a football-only venue. £100 buys you a share of the action. One trophy did come to the bridge this season from across the channel. In a two-legged affair, Chelsea first beat Le Havre 3-1 at home and then drew 1-1 in France. Travelling Chelsea fans were praised for their behaviour. Earlier this season, we saw Chelsea ladies in action as they beat Pinewood in a League Cup game. Well, despite losing team captain Val Cox to a serious injury, the team went on to the Anniversary Cup final and they won it as well, 2-1 in the final against Millwall. The Chelsea youth team had a mixed year. The lads finished in the middle of Division 1 of the South East Counties League. Neil Shipley scored over 30 goals for the side before his promotion to the senior squad. After a shaky start to their season, Peter Nicholas was satisfied with their stronger finish. Eddie Niedzveski could never be sure how injuries and the demands of the first team would affect his selection in the Neville-Ovenden combination. Yet he managed to maintain a determined approach, and Chelsea's reserve team had a splendid season, culminating in a thrilling climax which saw them lose their last game at West Ham when Millwall won on the same day to take the title. So the club has a stronger foundation than 12 months ago, but will the new young Chelsea stars be ready to win honours at a senior level next season?
It's very difficult, you know. I mean, a cup final obviously would be great, but we've got a lot of good players, and there's a lot of hope at Chelsea. I don't think we're a hopeless case, you know. Far from that. We've got a lot of good players. And again, no doubt there'll be comings and goings and players, you know, arriving in the summer. And that's important. If we get some good players in, then who knows?
I would be very, very disappointed if this time next year we're not knocking on the door of something or other, you know, whether it's a cup competition or in Europe or particularly the Premier League. There's no reason in starting a job if you think, well, I'm going to be happy or contented to finish halfway up. And an old manager, pal of mine, Alex Stock, used to say, if you start a season and you don't think you're going to win both cup competitions and win every league match, then it ain't worth starting a campaign. And in truth, that it is the right policy to follow. But you know, what you try and do is, if the first time it hiccups, you try and put it right for the next thing. You don't get despondent about the past. You just get on with the future. And I genuinely feel that Chelsea is an unbelievable capability to do better. And I'm sure, whether I'm here or not, I'm sure it will.
A hint there of what was to follow 3 days later, when Chelsea announced that David Webb's brief managerial career at the Bridge was over. The team finished the season in 11th place in the new Premier League. The lads will take to the road next season with a new man at the helm. The kick-off is August the 14th.
Get a game in that one. In that league, another league where they go like that. Jack Queen.